You all know, when it comes to keyboards, I'm not really a hobbyist, but I do love a good keyboard. And that's exactly what I want to talk about today, is the current state of keyboards for and coming from just an average Joe. And I have to kick it off with one that really excites me and I love using, and I've been using quite a bit lately. This is the DrunkDeer 75A. Now, as you're seeing, I have the aluminum version here. You can also get this in a black version. This is the silver version here, and golly, it is incredibly lofty. You got that weight on the bottom and everything. You can also get this in a plastic version for fairly cheap. I believe right around 110 bucks. The keycaps you're seeing on this one, I did purchase myself off Amazon just to give it my aesthetic. But inside this, again, you got dampening foam, you got the multiple layers in there. It is just such a fantastic built board. Now, the DrunkDeer boards are also packing adjustable switches right along with rapid trigger. And the greatest thing about this is it's web-based software, so you don't need to download anything. Just load up the web-based thing, set what you want, save it to the board, and you're done. And it feels absolutely amazing. Let me give you a quick sound test. And what you just heard is this keyboard right out of the box. Of course, I do have my keycaps on it, but I haven't lubed anything or done anything. This is exactly how it comes, and it feels and sounds fantastic. And this board is just one of my favorite on this list. The next board that really excited me is one I did a standalone review on. That is the Lamzu Atlantis Pro keyboard. My gosh, this thing is just awesome. I'm not a big fan of blue, but again, just what it is oh my gosh, let me just show you the underneath over here. You got this little etching on the bottom with the Lamzu and the waves. We all know Lamzu does packaging and aesthetics really good, but right along with that, the build of this thing, the curves, the lines on it. You also have the rapid trigger and adjustable switches on this as well. On top of all that, these keycaps, being the silicone keycaps, I mean, they just feel amazing. This is not my first time using silicone keycaps, but my gosh, they feel so good. Your fingers just lock into this. Whew, if this was red and it didn't have the blue, it might stay on my desk, even though I'm not a big fan. I like my function row up there, kind of like we saw on the DrunkDeer. This keyboard is so cool. I really wish it was red. Let me let you listen to this here, because again, you got that dampening foam, those multiple layers here with that aluminum case and then these silicone keycaps. Listen to this. And again, what you're hearing there is out of the box. I haven't lubed or dabbled with anything. Could this one use a little bit of work? Yeah, maybe down here on the space bar, but I don't know. I'm nitpicking here, you know what I mean? I think it sounds amazing, but even more than the sound of this board, the feel of it, like when you start gaming and typing on it, it might just be the silicone keycaps right here, but it just makes you want to keep on going. Now, this board is 160 bucks, but unfortunately it has been out of stock quite a bit, but I hope this isn't Lamzu's last venture into the keyboard space, because they did a great job here. The next keyboard on the list is super unique and just a really cool one. This is the Melgeek Cyber01. This is not my first time covering Melgeek. All the products I've ever covered from them have been absolutely amazing, and there's no mistaking right here. Just take a look at this, and before any of you start saying, hey, my space bar is upside down, many of you out there, you know I always flip my space bar because it's just more comfortable. If you're sitting on your desk, it just flows with your thumb. So that's why my space bars are always flipped. But anyways, take a look at these keycaps. Obviously, they're ABS, as you can see, with their clear, and then you got the font right on the top. Maybe a bit too much for some people, but again, getting a themed board like this is so cool. And it's not just the keycaps. You can see you got the ridges down there, and then on the bottom, you got the lights down here on the bottom as well. And it goes inside with the build of this board as well. You got that double layer dampening foam. You got the rapid trigger switches with the adjustable switches. Take a listen. I think this one could use a little work, especially over here on the left shift, maybe a little bit more lube, because coming over here to the right shift or the space bar, it feels better than that left shift. So maybe a little bit of tune-up over here could be good. And this keyboard comes in at 150 bucks. And seeing what it's packing, again, from the interior to the switches to the cosmetics is just, man, I love it. And Melgeek just keeps on making awesome keyboards. And the next keyboard here is the Ducky Project D Tinker keyboard. And I believe what Ducky was shooting for here is having kind of that custom feel and more of an affordable package. You see we got that 75% layout, nice PBT keycaps, that classic Ducky type of aesthetic over here. Flipping it over, you got those two pop-out feet as we've seen before. The other grips over there, that black and white design. And up top, again, the black and white keycaps. I believe this comes in other colorways as well. Ducky going for more of that custom type of feel here with this board being gasket mounted. It's 5-pin hot swap, so no, you don't have adjustable rapid triggers or magnetic switches or anything like that. But let me give you a quick listen to this keyboard here. And after listening to it, it's nothing special. I mean, it is nice that it's subdued down there, maybe a little clanky, more than thocky or anything like we've heard on some of the other boards. And it comes in at 140 bucks, by the way, or 150. I understand what they're going for, but it feels missed compared to some of the other competition. And I'm not just talking about adjustable switches and rapid trigger, because I'm all about a 5-pin hot swap PCB still. But again, as far as the board in the hand, you got this flex here. It feels like an old dated gaming keyboard, which is shocking to see from Ducky, because they used to be the trendsetters and they used to have the best ones. But now with this, it feels like they're a little bit behind. And the perfect example of why I think that Ducky one is a little bit behind and feels dated is when you take a look at this Corsair K65 Plus wireless. You all know I love this keyboard. I was using it on my gaming station. Now I'm using that DrunkDeer. Not sure if I'm going to keep DrunkDeer or go back to the Corsair, but I still use the Corsair on my workstation. And I just love the aesthetics. You got the knob up there. It can set to Mac or Windows right by a flick of the switch on the back. You got Bluetooth. You got wireless. You have an awesome build. You got the pop-out feet on the bottom. You got your little RGB button on the side. And take a listen to this keyboard. This is a 5-pin hot swap board, so you don't got rapid trigger or adjustable switches, but like I said, even with the Ducky one, I appreciate that still, so you can still play around with it. And seeing Corsair do this and Ducky be over there, it's that prime example where we would have never expected a Corsair board to be better than a Ducky board. But Corsair hit this out of the park, and they're just making moves with keyboards now. This is so cool to see, and you can get this for under 150 bucks these days. The next keyboard that really caught my attention is the one from Arbiter Studios, being the Polar 65. There's so many different colorways you can get with this. Of course, you all know me, I had to go with the black, white, and red with the black case, but just check out their site. I mean, there's so many different colorways, definitely one to suit your setup right there. Now, this keyboard also has that incredible build, the dampening foam, the aluminum case over here, these nice custom keycaps, and then you do have rapid trigger and adjustable magnetic switches. On the bottom, you don't have any adjustable feet. You can see you just have that standard level there, which is perfectly fine. I believe USB-C on the left side, and it feels built incredibly well. Like, it feels super solid, and that is again going top to bottom here. Now, a little bit different when we listen to this, so take a quick listen to this keyboard and I'll talk about it. So the spacebar can definitely use some work. It's so weird because this board, I mean, it feels and sounds amazing. I believe these are the fastest switches, or let me say the softest switches out of the batch we're looking at here. I believe these are 38 grams of force, and they only go to 3.8 when some of the other boards go to 4.0. So again, it just feels like an incredibly snappy board, incredibly butter smooth. But again, talking about this board coming in at $150, it's almost a trend that we're seeing here, right? A lot of these boards come in at around $150. And this is a complete package. You're getting the aluminum case and the custom keycaps that you're going to pick right there. And with that, as far as performance specs and build, I really like this one at $150. Now the next keyboard on our list, as cool as it is, really makes me scratch my head. This is the SteelSeries Apex Pro White and Gold Limited Edition drop. So starting off, it's the Apex Pro. We're all very familiar with it. Adjustable switches, OmniPoint 2.0s, you got rapid trigger, you got PBT keycaps. Underneath the keycaps, you actually have a brass plate, hence it being gold right there. Super cool for sure. Flipping it over, you have that aluminum case and then that SteelSeries badging on the bottom, along with numbered, whichever one you got. And this thing feels incredibly premium. I mean, it is lofty for an Apex Pro, you know? Let's get a quick listen to this board. I mean, it really needs some work. It's inconsistent across all of it. You know, it honestly doesn't sound like there's any lube. Let me get it underneath one of my lights. I don't see a drop of lube at all on these stabilizers at all. They're also clip-in, but they're in there very solid for being this brass plate. But again, I don't see a single bit of lube. So I think a tune-up on this board, a pretty simple tune-up, can go a long way. I really don't even think there's any dampening foam in here. So slapping dampening foam and lube on these, I think will really transform this board. But at the end of the day, this board coming in at $380. It's the most expensive one out here today by a long shot, but it's limited edition and it's sold out. So you really don't have to worry about that. But let me go on and set that expensive thing down. Now the next keyboard, you probably know what it is just by looking at it. It's the Asus Rog Falchion RX low profile, the newest one that just recently came out. And when I reviewed this board, I said, it's cool, I really like it, but I can't see it staying on my desk and gaming with it. It would more or less be like a work computer. I used it over on my Mac, hence you can also change it to Mac, but this thing stayed on my desk a whole lot longer. I had such a blast using it. You got multiple levels of pop-out feet. On the back, you see you got all sorts of stuff going on here. Again, your Windows and Mac, you got your dongle, you got Bluetooth, you got this little slider back here, which you can set to RGB or your volume or anything. I just really, really like it. In the low profile, oh my gosh, I love low profile keyboards. Just listen to this thing. I mean, it sounds amazing. It's built incredibly solid. You got that aluminum top plate. There's no flex. The keycaps are ABS and that soft, smooth bit right there. So they can get a little bit slick. And again, finding low profile keycaps are always tough, along with ROG using or Asus using their 4-pin little keycap type design there. You're not going to really be able to find some replacement keycaps for it. And that really stinks. Does it justify the $180? I think it does. I do. My biggest complaint of it, again, is the keycaps. I wish they were PBT. But this keyboard really shocked me because, again, when I reviewed it and covered it, and I almost was like, man, do I need to re-review this? Because in my review, I said, well, it's going to go off my desk pretty quick. As much as I like it, it's not going to be something I can use constantly. And I always find myself wanting to plug and use this keyboard in more. It's so good, and it is such a blast to use. Now, I'd hate to end this video this way here. You know how movies, you always want them to end on a happy note, right? Everything comes together, everyone gets along, and everything's happy ever after at the end. Well, this video is going to end completely opposite because the last keyboard is new Logitech G Pro X60. I don't need to talk anything about this. I think we all know about it. It's just like, what was Logitech thinking? They were definitely behind. I think the tech packed into it is nice. The little volume wheel over here, Bluetooth wireless. The tech, okay, it's there. I like it. There's other boards that do it. And this board not having adjustable switches or rapid trigger, it just has optical switches, which are usually the cheapest. And it's I don't know, nothing really stands out, right? The one thing that does stand out with this keyboard is the price tag, $180. It's like, what were they thinking? I mean, there's so many other things to base your research off, your R&D, and this is what you give us in 2024? You know what? We are actually going to end on a happy note here. We're going to take a look at the NuPhy Gem 80. And I didn't assemble this because I want to show you guys what you can get. Now, there's multiple colorways you can get. We have the blue one here, unfortunately. But anyways, coming down here, you see you got the Gem 80 keycaps, the black and blue, super cool. And then you have your switches. So they're giving you pretty much like a kit here. But hold on, let's go and push that stuff aside. And I want to pop this open and show you what you're getting. Again, this is the NuPhy Gem 80. Popping it open. We'll first undo this. You got some paperwork here. Little pamphlet telling you everything you have, and then a quick start guide, all wrapped up in this nice foam. You got more foam underneath it here. Now, this is the goods, so we're going to set that aside and look at that in a second. But I want to show you all this in here. So you can see you got toolbox down there, and we're going to slide this open. Look at this. Top mount screws. You got silicone bean. I guess a gasket mount or something. I'm not sure. Silicone. Oh, it's stuck in there. Silicone sock, more silicone beans, not too sure what the difference do. Silicone foot pads, silicone strips. I guess this is for the space bar and stuff, or gaskets down there. Coming over here, you got your keycap and switch puller. And then, oh, I can't even get it out. Hold on. There we go. Holy smokes, I could not get those out of there. But it comes with a little screwdriver, little swappable one, and it's actually aluminum. I mean, this is quality. Now, you can also get it in a wired version or the wireless with the 2.4 or Bluetooth, as we have right here. But just looking at all of that, you know what? What's underneath here? Well, look at this. You also get a coiled cable. And looking at all that, it's like, holy smokes, this is like a custom keyboard kit all in one. Now, taking a look at the keyboard here, oh my gosh, it's just so cool. You got the aluminum top plate. You can see you got that gasket, so you got that slit right there. So it is going to flex on you right there. You got that 5-pin PCB, a couple sample switches in here, but you also get your switches that you pick. You got that dampening silicone over there. Looking at the bottom, it is that plastic bottom, but it's kind of clear. NuPhy Studios. I mean, this thing just feels like a true custom board that you're going to be building yourself. Seeing a complete package like this coming in under $200, that is super cool to see the keyboards now coming in around this user-friendly price range and build type stages as a kit. And I know a lot of you are custom keyboard enthusiasts out there, me not being one, but one that does appreciate a good quality board. Seeing boards like this, that again, an average Joe like myself can go out and get for under $200 is super awesome. Go watch any of my previous keyboard videos, custom videos, when keyboards were really popular. This is what I stated I wanted the market to be like. And it is so cool to see it like this. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was able to help you out one way or another as well. And if it did, please hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye now.